guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build. Today I am finally sharing my second half of my Brindleton Bay mansion build. I shared the first half about a week ago, and that part was all of the exterior and all of the exterior furnishings, and this part is all of the interior. So hopefully you guys are excited to see this part. I had so much fun decorating this house. I think it turned out so pretty. I absolutely love all of the light blues, the whites, and the grays. I think it is so pretty and so calming and relaxing and just reminds me of the ocean, and I think it turned out really pretty. So hopefully you guys will like it too. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So it did take a little while for me to share this build, and I did mention how in the first part this part was going to be the same length as that one, around 30 minutes. This one ends up being over 40 minutes. 36 of that is all of the speed build, and then there's several minutes of screenshots. There's a lot of screenshots. I wanted you guys to see every angle of his house in every room, so that's why there's so many screenshots. And then for the speed build, I went back and watched what I'd edited before, and I thought that it was just sped up too fast. It looked a bit confusing and just a little bit too all over the place, because I feel like I move the camera around a lot when I'm decorating rooms, trying to look at it to see from every angle and zoom down close, and I'm all over the place. So I felt like I needed to take it down a little bit. So I just went back and re-edited the footage just to make it all work, and I don't know, I just wanted to be happy with it. And so since I'm really proud of this build, I wanted to share as much of it as possible. And there was a few things I was gonna cut out. Like, I thought about cutting out the basement and some of the bathrooms. I think I cut out maybe some of the hallways that have nothing in them, because really there's some hallways that are there's a clock and a picture on the wall. It's ooh, that's very exciting. But I decided to leave it in the basement and all the bathrooms, because I figured if you guys need to, only watch a part of the video, then that's up to you. But I wanted to share everything that that went into making this build, because it did take me a very long time. I think I mentioned in the first part that it took me 11 hours or so. So yeah, why cut stuff out? Share it all. That's what I'm gonna do. But anyways, so I was kind of struggling when I first went in to decorate this house. I usually start my decorating with the front door, and I kind of just do the entryway of the house and then make my way around into every room and kind of just go from there, I guess. But this time, since the entryway is so large, I just was kind of struggling with what to put there. I do like the way it turns out in the end. It's just kind of a very grand entry room, so I feel kind of limited what I can put in entryways. I feel like once you put a seating area, a side table, a mirror, and a coat rack, you're like, well, what the heck else goes in here? So I just was struggling with it, so I decided to go to a regular room of the house and start with the kitchen, and I love the way this room turns out. I think this kitchen is so pretty. It has this little coffee area over here. It's got the island that looks off into the dining room, and it's got a little seating area by the window, which I thought about putting one of those bay window seats, but it just didn't look quite right. But I do like the way that turns out. I think it looks so sweet, especially when the lights come shining through the windows, and it just creates that really pretty lighting effect. It's so pretty. And then this is going to be the dining room, so it has a really large dining table for entertaining or for all the family to eat together. So I thought that was really nice. And so anyways, this house has 4 bedrooms and 4 bathrooms. There is the kitchen dining room, of course, and then there's also 2 living rooms. So the living room that I'll decorate first is the formal living room that just has the fireplace and the piano, and it's kind of somewhere if you had company, you guys would just sit and visit. And then there's a family living room that has the TV, and it's kind of a little bit more messy. There's some games in there, and I think I put the kids' art table in there. And then there is the basement, which has a bunch of clutter and a poker table, which I thought would be so fun. And then there's also a home gym, an artist loft, and I believe that's it. Hopefully I'm not forgetting anything, but yeah, I really tried to fit as many things in here as I possibly could. And if 4 bedrooms aren't enough, I think the gym area could be easily converted into another bedroom or the basement. That'd be kind of a cool room for a teenager, oh, you can have your room in the basement. I think that'd be kind of neat. I actually used to live in this really old Victorian house with a roommate, and it had several, even though it was just the 2 of us, it had several bedrooms. I had the one upstairs. It was kind of, I guess, it was the master bedroom, because she really wanted the basement bedroom, which was cool because it did have windows to the outside, so it wasn't just kind of this dark cave in the ground. Because you know how some houses with basements, they have that really, really low to the ground, they had a few windows. That's what she had, and yeah, that was pretty cool. she had a pretty neat room. Loved that house, by the way. It'd be so cool. I don't know if I could recreate it in The Sims though. Maybe if I ever drive by it, I'll take like a few like sneaky little pictures and then try to recreate it, because I don't know if I could remember entirely off the top of my head, because I lived there like 10 years ago, so I don't know if I'd be able to. But anyways, so the dining room is coming together. I think it is such a cozy room, and I do these leather chairs next to the window, and these are actually some of my favorite chairs to use, and I have a fireplace in here and the globe bar. There's also a bar outside, so if you want to have some parties, there's plenty of places to have some drinks and things like that. But anyways, so something I wanted to mention in this video, I actually only got one comment about it on the last part, but my microphone is failing. I accidentally dropped it on the linoleum. So if there's a little bit of crackly noises in my voice, I don't know how bad it is. I think it kind of depends on what you're listening to the video on, because if I listen to it through my desktop speakers, I don't really notice the crackling, but once I put headphones on, I could really hear it. So hopefully it's not too bad. Let me know, but I'll probably record a few more videos with my microphone, you know, with my old one that's broken, and then I will update with a new microphone, but I don't know how quickly I'm going to be able to buy one, because my husband and I are going to be taking a vacation, and I don't know if I should spend money on recording, you know, instruments or any sort of things for the channel before I go on vacation, and just wait till I'm done. So we will see what happens. I'll keep you guys posted. But anyway, so this is one of the downstairs bathrooms. It has the bathtub in here, and this table that I end up putting over here, I put a couple towels on it. I don't have it placed yet, but it's pink, and it looked gray when I placed it. And then when I went to go take the screenshots, I was like, oh, the table is pink. It kind of looks weird. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's uploaded to the gallery as a pink table, so you may want to change that if it bothers you, because it just doesn't match. It looks fine. It's a pretty soft pink color, but it just doesn't match the rest of the bathroom. But oh well, that's an easy fix. Anyways, so this is the formal living room, and I think it turns out really nice. It's a pretty grand living room. It's got the big fireplace. It's got the full seating area. It's got I think I got the grand piano in here. It's got some bookcases, and it's just a very luxurious, relaxing living room. Great place to probably socialize with guests if you were having a party. Definitely imagine that the Sims that live here would have lots of people over all the time, because they have such a large house, and with the pool and the gazebo and the fire pit and the, you know, the bar and barbecue area. There's the large dining table, so I imagine they are really into entertaining because they've got the space for it, and I imagine that'd be a lot of fun to do if you're into that sort of gameplay. Speaking of that, I've been actually playing the game a lot by myself. I built my sim an apartment off camera just to build something for myself, and then I was kicking myself afterwards. I'm like, why didn't I record that? It looks super cool. It's like this kind of rustic, shabby it's a starter apartment, so barely, I mean, didn't have like a lot of decorations in it, but it was kind of rustic and shabby, and kind of not like a total fixer-upper apartment, but it looks really like realistic for what, you know, if somebody was just to move to the city and they don't have a job or really any money, that would be like the kind of apartment they could afford. So maybe I'll try to recreate it and share it with you guys. If you guys are interested in that, please let me know. But speaking of apartments, I did actually do a fall themed apartment, and I'm going to do a spring and winter one as well. I know it's still before seasons, but I thought it'd be kind of fun to get us all ready, and then you could kind of add things to the apartment to make it a little bit more adaptable for the season if you'd like to download them. Other than that, the fall apartment looks really pretty. I think it's just a really cozy family apartment, so it's not really specifically for seasons. It's just inspired by mostly the colors of the season. So I thought that's a lot of fun. Some of you guys were thinking I should wait till seasons comes out, so I don't know. I'm still going to share them anyway, because I think it's a lot of fun. But this is the entryway that I struggled with a lot. I wasn't sure if I should make the staircase bigger to make the foyer a little bit smaller, because I feel like it's such a large room, but it's fine. It's a little bit like empty, I guess, especially when you're looking at it from up above, but if you're down on the Sims level, it's really not that empty, so it's not that bad. But anyways, so behind the staircase is actually the entryway down into the basement area, and I mentioned in the first part how I thought it'd be nice to have a sauna in the basement, but not in this basement area that I end up creating I thought over by the gym area, if you could create another entry to the basement on that side. I thought that's kind of a fun idea. I didn't know where to put the staircase into another basement area, so I didn't end up adding one, but it's something to think about if you want to download this house for your game. Oh, and something I should mention, because I do get this question quite a bit, I didn't limit myself on any packs in this build, and I wasn't sure if I used all of the packs or some of the packs or, you know, how it all worked out, but I looked on the gallery and it looks like I used all the packs. So that's just something to keep in mind if you don't have all the packs, or if you're missing a couple. If you're only missing a couple, as long as they're not cats and dogs or Parenthood, you should be fine. Most of the items should still be here. If you're just missing a couple of stuff packs, don't worry about it too much. There will probably only be like a few decorations items missing and you wouldn't notice it that much. But I do get that question a lot, so I thought I would mention it. But this is the home office, and I think this room turned out so cute and so cozy. It's pretty small, but it all works just fine. The Sims were able to sit in the chair and use the computer, and they have a little fishbowl in here, and they got all the bookcases so they can read. And then this is going to be the family lounge room, family living room, where they can hang out and play games and watch TV and just kind of relax, do their homework, and kind of all hang out together, whatever they want to do. I was going to try to create a sectional, but it wasn't really the right space for it, so I decided not to in the end. And yeah, I don't know, I really like the way this room turns out. I get the foosball table in here. I think I might end up keeping the fish tank in here. I think originally I was just going to move it upstairs. I think, yeah, I throw it upstairs and then I'm like, I think I add it back in here later. Can't exactly remember, but I think that's how I do. And then, oh, on the coffee table, I put some of those, like little crafting decorations for the kids up there. It's got like the little paints and crayons, or not sure there's paints, but it's like glue and crayons, those kinds of things, for them to do homework and craft projects. I thought that was super cute. And then here in a little bit, I thought about adding the kids' activity table down in the living room, and I don't end up adding it at this point, but later on when I was decorating the kids' room, I thought that maybe they would like to have an activity table, so I do end up placing it down in here because it just made the most sense to have it in this room where everybody hangs out together. And there's also a dartboard, I think, yes. So yeah, everything you could probably want to do as a family is in here. And then upstairs there's also the Don't Wake the Llama table, so I'm pretty sure there's like every sort of game. Is there one that I'm missing? There's some that I'm missing, I know that, but lots of activities anyways, and you could of course switch them out for other ones that you prefer to play with more. But I just really like the way this room turns out. I think it's super sweet and cozy, and I think it seems kind of realistic for such a grand house to have like a formal living area and then like a regular kind of messy lounge room for actually hanging out in. Probably the formal room is where you never go. My aunt, not now because she doesn't live in that house anymore, and her husband aren't together, but when they lived together and they had like their really nice house, and they had like this room, so you'd walk in their front door and like the dining room would be off to the left, I think, and then off to the right was like this lounge formal living room, which was weird because I think there was like a piano in there, and like I don't remember ever going in there. I don't think you were allowed to. It was like only for looking at, like just looking at room. And I always felt so weird like walking by it because my parents never had anything that was just for looking at. Like our whole house was like a family lounge room. But my aunts, yeah, they had this one room in their house that was very fancy and just for the piano, I guess. I don't really know. But I don't remember ever walking in there. I'm pretty sure it had like white carpet and like fancy, I don't know. It was really weird to me at the time. I mean, I think it's realistic for more wealthy families, I guess. Bigger houses. Probably realistic. I'm not really sure. But in my experience, I guess with my aunt, it is. But anyway, so this is the laundry room. Pretty straightforward laundry room. I end up flipping around where these washer and dryers are. And yeah, I think it's pretty cozy, pretty simple. I mean, there's not really much I could add in here. Just a little bit of laundry clutter, and I think I end up adding like a side table with some clutter on it. I'm not exactly sure, but it's just a simple laundry room. If you didn't want to have a laundry room, you could of course knock out the wall and make the bathroom bigger, because the other half is like the other downstairs bathroom. So you could just make the bathroom a little bit bigger. You would want to get rid of the laundry hampers though, because I'm pretty sure most of the bedrooms in the house do have the working laundry hampers. So yeah, you need somewhere to wash the clothes if you have them, I believe. And I don't think I end up keeping the shelves up here. yeah, I don't. So yeah, it's just a pretty simple room with some clutter items that are kind of like cleaning supplies and laundry. I don't really know what to say about this room. There's nothing really to say about it, so I could probably quit talking about it. Yes, that would be the best thing to do. Oh good, we are on to the bathroom now, and I really do like the way this one turns out. I like the way the other downstairs bathroom turns out, but this one, I don't know, I was just really happy with the way it turned out. I think it's so cozy, and this one little detail that I end up adding that's like really made the bathroom for me is I add that wall decorations. It's like a sailboat. It's like a piece of metal that's been shaped into a sailboat. I put that in here, and it looked so, like, it just reminds me of the ocean. I don't know. I was really trying with this house to make it feel really beachy and breezy and oceany, since it's right by the water, of course, and it's in Brindleton Bay. I wanted it to have that feeling to it, so I think it turned out nice. Anyways, so this is the downstairs or the basement area of the house, and I think this room turns out so cool. Like I've mentioned, I haven't done hardly any basements in houses. I always like when they're a part of houses. I feel like there's sometimes just hard to find a place to make the the stairs, like the area for the stairs, I guess, because it has to have such a big hole in the ground and it takes up space, so sometimes I just don't really mess around with it. But I wanted it to look like they've actually stored stuff down here, so they got like that pantry rack that has like a bunch of clutter and storage on there. There's like random boxes and all these shelves across the wall over here, so I imagine there's camping supplies and I don't know, extra, I don't really know, stuff for gardening maybe. What do you keep in a basement? The only basement I ever had was that one that my friend turned into her room, so I don't really know what you keep in a basement. I imagine it's a lot like a garage, so that's what I tried to make it look like. There's just some clutter items, and then the poker table, I thought that was kind of fun. Maybe the parents have like a poker night, or one of the parents, they like to have friends over. You could probably put some like musical instruments down here and have kind of like a garage band, but a basement band. That would be kind of fun, right? I think so. And I thought about adding this down here, thinking it was like some sort of heating or air conditioning system for the house. I don't know if we're going to get any sort of item like that for seasons. I know we get like a thermostat unit, but I don't know if it's something that just clicks to the wall or if it's just like a interface icon on like when we're looking at the Sims menu. I don't really know how that's going to be. We'll see. That'd be kind of cool though, if we had some like working air conditioner unit, but I think it's just the thermostat, and I don't know what that looks like, so I'm not going to pretend that I do. But anyway, so yeah, I just wanted this room to look cluttered and messy, like there was just tons of storage, so I think it turned out pretty cool, and I do like the way it looks in the end. And I kind of struggled with lights to put above there. I ended up going with those just hanging industrial looking lights. Oh, and I put a litter box down here. I end up off camera putting a litter box in, I believe, the bathroom by the kitchen. So there's 2 litter boxes in here. Maybe you'd want to switch it out for the one that actually cleans the litter for you, but maybe in this house you would have a maid, and so maybe the maid cleans all the litter and you don't have to worry about it. But this is the home gym area, and this room I struggled with a lot because it's kind of just a large room, so I wasn't really sure. I thought about creating this wall as sort of dividing up the space a little bit, but I decided to get rid of it in the end and just make it all one open room. But it's pretty big, so like I was saying, if you needed a couple more bedrooms, you could totally split up this space into like 2 or 3 bedrooms probably pretty easily. So yeah, definitely lots of possibilities. Or you could convert it into, I guess, whatever sort of skill or hobby your Sims have that would be useful to have this big of a space. I don't know. I thought a home gym works out really nicely, and then I do a seating area over here, just a place to kind of hang out. Maybe you're visiting with somebody who's running on the treadmill, or you just need to sit down and relax. I put that little drink tray that came with Spa Day, so your Sims can get one of those little fizzy drinks. They always remind me of champagne though. I don't really feel like they're like a drink that you would have to like cool down or have after a workout. They're more like, they look bubbly like a champagne or something. But anyways, so it is kind of got this large open area in the center, but I think it really works, and it's nice because it's not overly cluttered, so your Sims should be able to use all of the equipment just fine. I did playtest this house, but not like extensively because it's such a large house. It would be like, it would take forever to play every little thing. But I mean, I did like full autonomy, and the Sims automatically were using gym equipment. They were playing outside. Oh, and I did test that sandbox, by the way, and the Sims were able to use it. I did have a little bit of trouble with the slide when I was having the mother sim help the toddler go over the slide, but when I just clicked on the slide and had the toddler go through it, then she was able to. So I don't know, you may want to move it to somewhere else in the yard if it's too big of a problem, but I thought it worked just fine. So you shouldn't have any worries there. And then this is going to be the upstairs art area, little loft studio. I think this room turned out so cool, and I had the sim paint a mural on the wall because I do end up, well, right now I have 2 murals, but I end up only keeping one of them, and I did play test it. The sim was able to complete the entire mural without having any troubles, so that's pretty cool. Nice little space for your sims to get up their skills. I really like this room. I think this would be such a cool thing to have in a house. I kind of imagined that this was like an attic space and then it's just been converted, so like that. I like that a lot. I think this room would be so cool, and I used these fairy lights that came with that one holiday update that I don't really use that much because they're so flat, but I see people use them all the time and it looks so pretty, and I'm like, how do they make them look so good? But I really liked them in this room, and I think they turned out so nice. And I used that little stool a lot, by the way. I've been using it a lot lately. Usually I try to avoid doing this because I feel like your sims might try to sit down on it because it's technically a chair. But if you have it tucked away behind stuff, then your sims can't even get to it, so they won't try to sit there, and you can just put books and clutter on there. But I think it works so well as a little side table because we don't have very many little side tables. All of the like end tables and things like that are so large, and they take up so much space, so it's nice just to have a little stool that you can just plop a couple books on or a candle, and I like that a lot. But this is the upstairs, I guess, loftway, is that a word? No. Loft area above the entryway to the house. So it's nice and open and pretty grand looking down into the entryway of the house. So I like that a lot. It doesn't have too much in it, I guess. I do like the bookcase, the side table, and I do end up keeping this chair. I try to move it like so many times, but I do end up keeping it right there. So a little place you get to sit down and read for whatever reason, just because I don't know what else to add to hallways, I guess. But I think it turns out really nice. And then in this area, I do another kind of family hangout where I put the Don't Make the Llama table. I put another cat tree in here so that cats have places to hang out, which I did mention in the first part that I did create the family for this house, but I didn't create a cat to go with them. Maybe I should. If you guys would like to see that family, some of you guys seemed interested in the first part, but if you'd like to see the family for this house, should I create them some pets as well? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that. But yeah, I do really like the way this space turns out. It seems pretty cozy. The teenager of this house seemed to really like it up here. She was able to play with the Don't Wake the Llama, and I decided to use that more colorful one, and I wasn't sure if that was going to be just for like children's sims, like if they were going to be the only ones to be able to use it, but since a teenager was playing with it, I guess all sims can use it, so that's really neat. And then I was just kind of struggling with a seating area, so I end up moving this chair actually back over by the bookcase, and then I put this little bench in here so there's somewhere to sit down if you're not playing the game but you would like to visit with somebody who is. I thought that was kind of nice. I don't know how important that is, but I thought it was pretty cool. And then this is the upstairs family bathroom, so it's got the full shower tub combo, and it's like the messier bathroom, so it's got all of the counter clutter, and I love the way it turns out. I think it turns out so cute, and I just really enjoy bathrooms, even though, I mean, they're really not that great. There's like just they all basically have the same things, like the shower, the toilet, and the sink, but I really like the clutter you can add to bathrooms because that's just every bathroom I've ever owned like has so much, like it's got the toothbrushes, it's got the soap, and it's got, you know, the hairbrush and the blow dryer. It's just so much clutter, and I really just enjoy that bit of realistic clutter. I think it's fun. I don't know. I just like clutter, I guess. It's a lot of fun in The Sims to clutter up spaces. It's probably one of my favorite things about building is just being able to clutter up spaces and making them seem kind of realistic. I think it's fun. And then I do a couple of these accent walls of that white wood paneling, which I think looks so pretty. Anyways, this is the first bedroom that I'm decorating, and this is the toddler room, and I think this room turns out so cute, and I think it's such a cozy little toddler room. It actually took me a long time to decorate this room though. I just really wasn't sure how to decorate it, and I was gonna put a bay window seat. I don't end up getting one in this house, even though I specifically put these like bay window areas so I could put one, but I just didn't really have the right colors, and it just didn't work for the spaces that I had. So that's fine. I do a little seating area anyways with this little koala chair and then a couple stuffed animals and the side table, and I end up going into debug, into the debug menu towards the end of me decorating this room, and then I add in a couple of the toddler books and a couple little toys and stuff. So there are some debug objects in this house. So I don't think that really matters too much if you're downloading this house, but something to keep in mind if you're wondering where certain items come from, because I think some people who use debug objects a lot get a lot of questions about if it's custom content or not. But there's a whole menu if you don't know. If you go into the cheat menu, which is Control-Shift-C, and you type in bb.show hidden objects, and you type in debug, I mean, well, first of all, it shows you like in different like clutter items or certain parts of the menu, it'll show you extra objects that you would normally get through gameplay. But if you type in debug in the search, it shows up with a bunch of debug objects. So I'll point some out when I get to that point, but first I'm just decorating the room. It took me forever. I end up moving the bed again and end up getting rid of that shelf. It just took me a long time. I end up struggling with rugs for probably 10 minutes. I'm not even kidding. I did cut some of it out though, because it took so long, like an embarrassing amount of time. But I end up getting rid of the rug that I have over there by the seating area. I think I end up putting the circle rug with the stars, because I just couldn't get one that matched to put under the bed, and I felt like it really needed one. So it just took a while. And something I noticed, so I sized up those blocks for the toddler, and when the toddler plays with the blocks, when they move them around, they're still their small shape, so it doesn't look weird in their hands, but it looks better as decoration in the room when they're sized up. So I thought that was kind of interesting. But here I am trying to find a rug. I think here in a little bit I do skip through it so we don't have to watch this madness for too long, because it seriously was painful. Like, even though I'm showing so much of it, it was even longer of a process than this. Like, a nightmare. I don't know why I was so indecisive, but I really was, and yeah, I don't know what to say about that. But this is what I end up going with: a simple square rug underneath the bed, and then a smaller circle rug with the stars over by the seating area. It's just, it's so funny how some things can take so long to do that seem like they would be so simple, and then other things that seem really complicated don't take that long. Like, I really thought that I don't know, would have spent an equal amount of time on the exterior and the interior, but I spent way longer on the interior. Decorating takes forever. Such a long time. But anyway, so I'm just finding some wall clutter to put in this room, and I think it turns out so cute. But here I am pulling out those debug objects that I was talking about. So I put a couple toddler books around, a couple of toys, nothing too crazy. I think I end up going through parts of the house and adding some of those bird pictures, not very many, but just a couple, just to add a few decorations. But I do put some more debug objects in this teen's bedroom because I wanted her to have some postcards and stuff, because the teen of this house is the one that I thought would use the artist loft. Like, I imagine she was, you know, wanting to be a professional artist when she grows up, so she is practicing her like heart out to become like the best artist she can, and she's also into music and traveling, so I wanted her to have some like postcards and decorations and stuff. So I love the way this room turns out. I think this teen room is so fun, and it's messy too. I think I tend to do that a lot with my teenage rooms. I should probably make some that are organized, because there's definitely teenagers who are organized but I just wasn't one of those teenagers. I was very messy, and so anytime I do a teenager room, like, they need to have clutter everywhere and, you know, clothes on the floor. So that's what I ended up doing for this teen room. But I think it turns out really nice, and I just love the colors, and it seems pretty cool to me. So definitely let me know what you guys think. Probably my favorite bedroom is the little kids room, because I wanted to have every sort of life stage, I guess, besides elderly Sims. But you could have an elder in this house. You could turn the home gym into a mother-in-law suite if you had some elderly Sims that lived with you, and they could have like their own little area down there, which is perfect because the bathroom's right there. You could even do a little kitchenette so they could cook some food and have like their own little space. That would be pretty cool. But I wanted to have, what my point was, I wanted to have sort of every life stage. So there's the toddler, the kid, the teen, and then the adults or the parents. So you could have a whole variety of Sims, but the kids room is probably my favorite because it's got like these like sciencey kind of nerdy stuff in there, which I love. I mean, if you don't know already, I did get a science degree in college, so I am definitely a little science nerd myself, and I have a lot of fun creating those types of rooms. But anyway, so I end up putting an art easel in here, even though she has one over in her studio, and then she also has that mural area. I thought she'd want one in her bedroom as well, so plenty of places for her to practice her skills. And then I did mention in the first part for the parents, I imagine them to be pretty athletic because of the home gym, and then they also have the basketball court outside. So yeah, definitely got some personalities for the parents. I did imagine, other than that, I imagine the dad was like a doctor, and the mom, I imagine she stays at home, but maybe she gardens and sells things that way. Like, she has her own thing going on, like she definitely like has an income, but I imagine she is at home with the kids a lot, and I feel like that's probably important to them to be home a lot with the kids. And then the teenage daughter is the artsy one, and then the son, he is into like science, and then the toddler is into whatever she wants to be into when she gets older, because she's a toddler. She doesn't have to decide right now. She's into being cute and playing. But so this room I was originally gonna have be a twins room, but I felt like it was just a little bit too small for the things that I wanted to add, so I end up not doing that. But what I do end up adding, you could get rid of it if you did want to have this be a twins room, because I wanted to add a desk in here, and so I needed a space for it, but I wanted to add the hamster cage, and so I couldn't have 2 twin beds, a desk area, and the hamster cage. So I got rid of one of the beds, but if you wanted to get rid of the hamster cage, you could add another twin, another bed over there, and then you could have twins. So problem solved. But if you want, then you could probably just move the hamster cage somewhere else. It could be in like the family living room. That would probably work, but I imagine it was his pet, so wanted to have it in his room. And then I built this little desk over here. I've done this a few times where I take a couple of tall shelves and then merge a desk into it and create kind of like a whole kind of piece of furniture. And then I used a lot of those already made school projects from the debug menu and sort of just decorated his room with it, because I thought that was kind of fun. Just projects he's completed, and I think that was pretty cool. I don't know. And then I have the one box of the one he hasn't done yet, so I imagine he tries to do every school project he possibly can. Maybe he even like enters into the science fair or into competitions and stuff, so he's super into it. I just really like the way the desk area turns out. It was something I really wanted to add in this room, so I definitely made it the space for it, and I think it turns out really cool, and it's probably why it's my favorite room. I think it's just super cozy. I think it would have been probably a pretty cool room to have as a kid. And yeah, that's about it for this room. I think I don't really add anything else, and I don't know. Hope you guys like the way it turns out. Definitely let me know. I mean, the parents' room is probably the best room in the house because it's super nice. Like, it has its own little like, oh, here I wanted to add the crafting table, so this is when I throw it down into the family room. But anyways, the parents' room has like this really nice ensuite bathroom. It's got like an entryway to their bedroom, and it's got 2 balconies, like pretty fancy. Definitely. Oh, I forgot about this. I added one of those little characters. Barely see it, but you'll see it in the screenshots. I added one of those little characters behind the hamster cage. I thought that looked so cool. It looks like there's like a goldfish swimming in it, and looks really neat. But anyways, so this is the parents' master bedroom. So they have this entryway, and then they have this bedroom area with the fireplace, and it turns out really nice. I think I'm really happy with the way their bedroom turns out. It's one of the best master bedrooms I think I've done in a long time. I think it's super grand. Like, very, very luxurious in my opinion. And something that happened though, when I was playtesting this house, I haven't had a fire, like a fireplace, catch anything on fire in the longest time, but it caught this stinking stool on fire and then burnt down like almost all of the bedroom, because this house was so big that it took the sim forever to get upstairs and put out the fire. So it burnt down like the rug and had these little ash piles everywhere. It was such a pain. So might want to keep in mind or keep your eye on that if you have the fire burning upstairs. I mean, I did have it burning for like 2 sim days straight, so maybe that had something to do with it, but yeah. But I forgot to relight them before I took the screenshots, so that's kind of a bummer. When I went through and put the screenshots in, I was like, man, I should have lit all the fireplaces just for the screenshots, but you know, I just don't have time for that. So I didn't end up doing that. But this is the master bathroom. So they just have a single tub by the window, which I think looks super nice, very cozy. And then I end up doing this little room right here for the toilet, which I think is pretty realistic. My husband and I's old house, we had a bathroom like this where you just kind of walked in and there was the countertops and then the shower, but then the bathroom was in, or the toilet was in its own little private room. So that's kind of cool and kind of realistic. I'm sure some of you guys have bathrooms like that in your house, but I just feel like this bathroom turned out really cozy, and I'm just copying over some of the items because I wanted to have similar items up here, but I didn't want it to be the exact same bathroom, but I wanted it to be cohesive with the rest of the house. And wouldn't that be so nice just to take a bath right there by the window? Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. I can't wait to see what this house looks like in seasons. I bet it's gonna look so pretty in fall and then in the snow. Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. And did you guys see there's gonna be rainbows? I'm really excited to see rainbows. I think that is just gonna be so pretty, very pretty. But yeah, so we are coming up on the end of the video, and I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a long one, so if you stuck through it, I really appreciate it. And if you haven't watched the first part, I will have it linked in the description. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the screenshots, but thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!